I'm getting a really heavy sense that I'm being watched right now. I mean, it came up on the camera. I could not see it with my naked eye. So today's video is definitely not about gardening. It's not about man skills. It's not about being a traditional man. It's not about building things. It's not about creating things. What this is about is something that is in the woods in Montana. And this is something that we got on video when we were looking at a bunch of downed trees. I think it's a Sasquatch. And the reason I think that is because I've educated myself on the subject along with other scientists, actual experts on this, and First Nations people, Native Americans. And so this is a real thing. This is a real phenomena that takes place. They're not monkeys. They are not Gigantopithecus or any of the other misinformation that's being put out there. You have been duped. You have been, the media has hired the dumbest idiots they can find and put them on the Discovery Channel and made you believe that's the experts in this subject. Those are by a far cry from experts on anything, much less Sasquatch. And this right here is a real phenomena that is taking place in the woods around where we live in northwestern Montana, and it's here. It's in British Columbia. It's a real thing, and part of protecting your family is knowing what's in the woods. So don't just take my word for it. Don't just take this video for it. You're going to see the whole video. These are screenshots from a video. You're going to see the whole video, and then we're going to walk through the video step by step and show you perspectives and stuff like that. It's not a tree stump. This thing moves around. You're going to see everything that I see, okay? And you're going to see it from the perspective of my cell phone camera, and that's it. So I hope that you look at this and you say, hey, I'm further educated about what could be in the woods, and I need to protect my family, and I need to make sure that that you stay knowledgeable. Okay, don't just bury your head in the sand like other people have. Open your eyes, listen to the tens of thousands of credible people, including myself, that are living around these things and have seen them, and not just in the Northwest. They're all over the place. Sasquatch, wood boogers, I don't care what you call it, but go ahead and check out this video and give me your objective opinion in the comments. Thanks. So what we're going to look at right now is something that I've been really debating as to whether or not I should come out with it. It's something that's not new to me, but it's new to a lot of people, especially if you watch this channel at all. You know that I haven't put anything like this out there before. It's not that I haven't seen it. It's not that I haven't experienced it or gotten video of it or anything like that. It's just you're going to see some a phenomena. Okay. And so what this is something that I saw, and when I pulled up to this area, I kind of knew what it was, and I was, or what it could be, I should say. Didn't have any really preconceived notions, but I knew what it could be. And so I got out of the Suburban and I went to go check it out. So what we're looking at right here is an area that has been downed of just a bunch of downed trees. Okay. And when I say a bunch of downed trees, I'm talking about acres of downed trees. They were all uprooted, all stacked up. Okay. So what you're looking at right now, you're looking at Camtasia. So this is where I can cut the film and all this stuff. And so you can see all through here. Okay. The downed trees. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let you watch this entire video, and then I'm going to narrate. Okay, I'm going to narrate and show you what I saw. Now, you're going to be focusing on these downed trees right here. Okay, so you see these trees right here, these long ones. We're going to focus there, and we're going to focus on this guy. Yes, I said this guy. And I was in the car with my kids and my wife we were in Montana, and where we live in Montana, and this area just had, you see the mess that is caused and we believe that this mess is caused by if you know anything about this at all, you know that these are not natural structures. Okay. We call this here TPing. But what we're going to look at here is what could have caused this, and what may be a Sasquatch. Okay. And again, I'm not a researcher. I don't care about that stuff. You know, we have different things happening on our property all the time. We have, you know, tree structures and stuff like that taking place on the property all the time. We found massive footprints on our property and stuff like that. So this isn't something that, if it is a Sasquatch, I'm freaked out about. If it's not a Sasquatch, I mean, it looks like it is to me. I've gone over this 100 times, and I can't see what else it could be. I will tell you this: this image did not come up on the camera. I mean, it came up on the camera. I could not see it with my naked eye. All right. So this black thing back there that looks like it has arms and shoulders and a head and legs and moving around from place to place. It does. I couldn't see it with my naked eye because I was actually looking for that, but I couldn't see it with the naked eye. But when I put the camera on it, and got back home and blew it up on my computer, then I found this. And so anyway, pretty interesting. So go ahead and check out the video, and I'll see you in a second. Sorry guys, this is going to be a little shaky. This is Jeff. I'm over here in a remote area in northwest Montana, just off the road. Coming into this road, you saw lots and lots of trees being uprooted, and now we're in this massive area, acres and acres and acres of uprooted, overturned, stacked up trees, wedged trees like this. This is all brand new, guys. All brand new destruction. Look. You see how far back that goes? I can't even get in here. Look at this. Look at this. There's no tracks in here. There's no tire tracks anywhere. This was not a logging operation, a clearing operation. No heavy machinery's been back here. Just straight up. Just straight up just getting pushed over. See how far back I can get without getting in too much trouble. I'm getting a really heavy sense that I'm being watched right now. Which happens from time to time on our own property. I already know that this is going to be shaky. Camera's gonna be shaky. I've never seen anything like this. Guys, where I live, I have lots of structures on my own property. Look at this. They're snapped off. They're trapped in half. See, there's no tire tracks. This was not done by man. This is not a windstorm, because it's just this one. It's like about a 5-acre spot. Just this one spot. And you guys know that this was not on accident. This is not natural. This is absolutely insane. Look at the size of this tree I'm walking on. All firs. These giant fir trees, some pines. Just absolutely wrecked. I don't have time to jump back in there. I've got my family waiting in the car. Whoa, what is that? Can you see that? See the scrapes alongside of that? Looks like a pine tree there. Anyway, guys. Absolutely insane. This is happening every spring. We're seeing more and more of this. Not to this extent. This is the biggest find I've ever seen. This is all brand new. It's like they just made this one area all at once on their own. In just total destruction all at once. No rhyme or reason to it. Just complete and total forest destruction. I can't imagine the power it would take to do something like this. Look, who's that little guy? Y'all leave in the comments, let me know if y'all see anything that I can't see. We've been noticing lots of downed trees around here, and then we came across this. This is just completely different than anything I've ever seen. All brand new. This is all just done, and we did not have a storm. This is not a storm. Storms don't do this. This was not a local tornado or any other the BS y'all come up with. This is just raw power. All right, guys, stay safe. Remember that Jesus Christ is your Savior. God bless. Okay, so did you keep your eye on the downed trees? Did you keep your eye on the horizontal trees? If not, go back and watch it again. But the trees that are horizontal, look at the black figure that is down there. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to show you something real quick. I'm going to go ahead and pull up some stills that I have here of that figure. Now, this is one shot of that figure. So I'm standing on this log, all right, and I'm blowing this up, and so this is a blown up shot right here. I'm standing on this log, and I'm just panning the camera back and forth, and I see this black figure, and that's to me that this is something that I don't normally come across. It's not to this extent anyway. I mean, we come across tracks, footprints, big X's, and stuff like that. This is not something that I normally come across. So here's this guy. Let's go to another image of him, and you see that. See, I'm standing in the same spot for most of this video. I do walk across the log at one point. But that doesn't seem to matter as far as the perspective is concerned on, from where I'm standing on this log. The perspective doesn't seem to change very much because I only move a few feet. This right here is, this guy's probably 50 yards from me. Okay. So look at this video. I mean, these clips were taken, you know, in basic succession, and we'll go look at the video here in a second. But there's that clip, and now I'm standing in the same spot, but I move to one side, or I pan to one direction and pan back. So you see he's in a different place now. Now you can see here's the back of a head. Here's a shoulder right there. It looks like got some triceps here. Fairly well built rear end. And so I can kind of make out an arm, come back here, and some traps is what I'm seeing. All right. Here's another shot of him. And so you can see, and all I did was pan back and forth. All these things, when I see him, it's just the camera's just moving back and forth, which I do multiple times, kind of scanning over the area. So you see the sticks move around and stuff like that. You see, so there's another shot where, you know, his head's at a different position, and then now he's completely away from there, and he's behind these sticks over here. Okay, so he's in a completely different spot. And then here he's let's see here. Now he's in a completely different spot again over here. Now those other sticks we just saw him behind earlier are right here. Okay, here's this big root ball right here that's sticking up, and he was over here, and now he's over here, and we have pictures of him right here. And so every time I pan, he's moved into a different area. So now he's back behind this. This is not these are just branches that they look like an X. So he's back behind here. Now this is an intriguing shot, because what it looks like right here is that in the sun, he's got his head, he's got these massive traps. Okay, just big traps, big shoulders, and you can see his hand dangling right here. Okay. Arm, very long arm, hand dangling right here, and you can see his the back of his leg, calf, and so this is one leg, and here is another leg right here. And these are different images we got in the tree, but which I'm not going to go into in this video. Anyway, guys, this is these are different shots of the same cat. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to open this up. And so what I'll do is we'll go through this. And this is where I took some of these screenshots from. So as you can see, I'm walking through here and I'm trying to find a place to get around. Now, one thing I want to say is that, like, this tree was very much wedged into all of this, into these other trees right here. There's TPing formations going on this backside. All this stuff this is brand new. There were no tire tracks. There were no heavy machinery tracks. Heavy machinery couldn't get back here. You know, there was no way for it to get in or for it to get out. There was no roads back here, any of this. This did not appear that this was done by any sort of windstorm or anything like that. I mean, everything around it was fine. And then it's just one spot had all this devastation. Now, you see this right here? This is very common. We find this with big trees and small trees alike, what we call a teepee. All right. So what they'll do is they'll take this and they'll stack up these trees, and they'll kind of lean them all together like that. And we see that in big and small trees alike. So let's just kind of move through here. I go and I see that big log. I'm going to crawl through there and stand on this big fir tree. Now I can get a better view. So what's going on here is that can't really believe what I'm looking at, because this is a lot of wreck, a lot of devastation. All these trees are being uprooted, and here is the first glimpse we get of this guy. Okay, I think that's the first glimpse anyway. Yeah. So that's going to be go stand on the log. And so we're going to get our first shot. Panning around, there he is. Okay, so at 2:24, we have our first shot of this guy, and he's right there. Okay, and these are pictures that I've zoomed in on with Camtasia, and I've blown it up, and these are the same things I've just shown you. So you see how he's right here, back. There's this root sticking up right here. Here's his calf right here, and here's what's weird. They don't seem to move a lot, and that you can tell because he's black. All right, so he's all black, and so it's not like what you can see is if you pan back and forth like that, you'll see head, like he kind of hunches over a little bit more right there. His head's down. You see, you follow it back here. See, now his legs bent even further. His hands even further behind him. But his head is he's hunched down. You see, as compared to right here where he's standing upright, and now he's hunched down a bit. So keep on traveling across. So then I'm just kind of looking around, looking at everything that's going on here. When we pan back, and there he is again. Okay, now the legs aren't as visible as they were before, and he's standing upright in a different direction. But not only in a different direction, he's in a different spot. Okay. So now I'll walk across the log a few feet. Now he was over here. Now he's back over here, right? Let's see here. Pan through. And now he's getting closer down to this area. Okay? Now he's getting closer down to this X. Panning around. Now, he was over here. Okay? And he was getting close to this X right here, next to this root ball. And now he's way back here. You see that? You see how he's way back here off to this side. Looks like he's even further back, on the other side of this, if there's a log right there or whatever, like he's behind some more stuff. And so he's hard to make out right there, but he's definitely moved into different spots. So I'll walk across the tree right there, and now he's back here. He's back here behind this. Now, if I move in this direction on one side, he's not going to move. If he was, people have asked me if that, how do you know that's not some roots? Because when I moved to the other side, he shouldn't have moved with me. He should have stayed still and been more that direction. You see, so he should have been more over here. If I walked this way, he should have been more over there, not more over here. You see, so that's the way I see it anyhow. Now here's the thing. He's standing behind this root ball right there. And now we can, if we slow it down a little bit and we creep along, and there he is. And I'm standing in the same spot. Okay, I didn't move around. I'm standing in the same spot on that log, just panned differently. Okay? So now, if you see his back leg, I'm standing in the same spot. Now you can see him right there. Now there's movement. You're seeing movement right there. He's hunching down right there. He's doing something. Okay, he's kind of hunched down, going back and forth. Now he's hunched down. You see his hand again, just like you did back over here at 224. You see his hand again and his leg again. You see? Now, okay, now look at this. He's right there. Go back over here, pan back, and now where is he? He was right here, behind this X. Behind this X right here. He was over here. Now he's back over here. You see that? Now he's back over here. So, let's see here. Okay. Now let's look at the difference again. He's over here. He's behind this branch and all that stuff. I pan over, come back, and now he goes from behind this branch to standing upright again over here. And he starts to blur out a little bit. Standing on the log. And I think that's one of the last glimpses we get of him before I head out of there. But you see he's moved even again. Now, there are some other weird phenomena that go on in here in this video. What's really weird is that I wasn't able to see him with my eyes. And that is a weird thing to me. You know, I don't understand why I couldn't see him, because I was looking for it. That's one main thing I was looking for, is being able to see that with my naked eye. And I didn't see anything of the sort. It just wasn't there, you know, but it's on the camera, which is what counts. And then that's the end of it. And then I just kind of peek at some other holes and then I just see if there's a, down. No, see, now I don't see anything over there. So now I'm down off of this log. Those trees are over there, and he's gone. Okay, so there's some fallen trees. He's back, and so wherever he was back there, he's probably back here some direction. He's just gone. Oh, wait, there he is right there. There he is right there. Let's see. And you realize, like, you can't see anything in here. Another thing is that whenever you can be in the woods and be completely cool, completely chilled out, and all of a sudden you're going to get, if these things are around, you're going to get the sensation like you are not alone, like you are being watched and you're not welcome there. That's the sensation I had. I was very concerned about it. I might not have let that come through on camera as much, but I didn't enjoy the sensations at all. I felt like I needed to get out of there. I had a pistol on my hip, but I didn't think that was going to do much good. I know what it feels like. You know, I live in the woods. We live out in an area like this, and I know what it feels like when I'm being watched, and it's eerie. You know, it's very, very eerie, and it feels like you're not alone, which you're not. And so there was that unmistakable feeling of, like, I walked into a room and everybody turned around and looked at me and didn't want me there. That's what it felt like. Okay. Just unwelcome. And it felt like I needed to get out of there. So that's why I did get out of that. My wife and kids were waiting in the Suburban for me, but this is not something that I have a massive interest in. It's just something that happens, and I've been requested to make this video. You know, I felt like I needed to detail this video out, and I've been requested to make this video so people could, so a certain person could see it, and somebody that I have some respect for, and so I've just felt the need to, you know, to do this for him. So, but detail it, you know, so you can see what I'm seeing, see what I understand, and look, let me know if you think I'm full of shit. If you think, hey Jeff, it's just a root ball, you know, you're entitled to your opinion. I know that this is kind of off topic and this is not something that people come across every day, but that's what, you know, we find big footprints on the property here. I'll throw up some pictures of that right here. And so we find big footprints on here all the time. We see, you know, we find big X's over here all the time and stuff like that, and lots of formations that Sasquatch are typically making. This is not something I want to be identified for, but the bottom line is that this is a topic that has been kept from you. All right, this is something that's been kept away from you. Are they benign? Are they, I think that mostly they just want to stay to themselves. If you can't already tell, I do believe these things exist. They're not monkeys, I'll tell you that much. They are not. To say that they're pre-human, is a fallacy. Okay, they're not any sort of pre-Homo sapien or anything like that. Okay, Gigantopithecus or anything of that nature. These things operate on a different level. They are more spiritual, that can manifest in physical reality than they are straight up, or vice versa. Maybe they can camouflage themselves or whatever. They can move through the woods silently if they want to, and they go out of their way to not leave footprints. They're very intelligent. They have their own language. They're extraordinarily, supernaturally strong, as you can tell by the devastation here. It takes big machinery to push these things over, and to even lift them up. And we find these things suspended in trees. So they have a reason to do what they do, and this is it's a neat phenomena. There are tens and tens of thousands of eyewitnesses to these things. They are not all the same. They're not like deer to where they all kind of have the same temperament. These, these things have tribes, if you will, or clans, and they're different everywhere. They look different in different parts of the country. They get bigger as you go further north, where we are. And and also this is a phenomena where a lot of people go missing. They've had, over 1,600 missing persons in areas just like this. This is an early afternoon, and these things, it's not safe. And if you don't believe me, ask any of your First Nations people. Ask any Native American. You look on their totems. There's an eagle, there's a bear, there's a badger, there's a beaver. There's a wolf, there's a Sasquatch, and the only one that white people don't believe in is Sasquatch. That doesn't make any sense. So I mean, you tell me that settlers came over here and they saw this animal, and the Indians told them about it, and Native Americans told them about it, and then they just said, yeah, we believe in everything except that thing right there. No, guys, this is propagandized to make sure that you don't understand it, to make sure that you don't believe it. Okay. Same thing with, anything else that there's thousands and thousands of eyewitnesses to. But no, what do? They put the mainstream media against you again. They find the dumbest people they can find, put them on the Discovery Channel, and say, that's the expert, which is BS. That's not experts. Okay. Those guys are paid actors that sit there and make sure that anybody that says that they believe in these things is called a quack. And that's not fair. That's not fair. There are police officers. There are military people. There are high up military people, high up police officers. I mean, there's doctors, lawyers, everybody from all walks of life. People that are engineers, and they go hunting and they come face to face with one of these things, and they are scared out of the woods, and they never talk about it because they're scared. Because they're scared of what other people will think. Financial advisors like myself. Me putting this out there is a risk right now. It's a risk. It's a risk to me publicly. It's a risk to me personally. It's just a straight up risk. I mean, there's not a whole lot there that is, there's no upside for me to put this out there. There's really no upside at all. All that's going to happen is that I'm going to be ridiculed. And that's the only thing. Hopefully, this is a different shot. Look at this. You can see his arm and form right there, and he's bent over, and I didn't get that screenshot earlier. Let's see. So he's moving right there. It's how he's moving out from behind that stump. There he is. Anyway, I've got no upside here. There's absolutely zero upside for me to put this video out there. But I do believe it needs to be done. I do believe that people need to know the truth about these things. We already know the truth about these things. There's hair, there's DNA, there's all kinds of things that's already available. And if you believe, well, nobody's ever recovered a body, that's bullshit. All right, that's what they want you to believe, but it's not true. Okay, open your eyes. Quit being a sheep. It's not true. They don't want you to know about this. They don't want you to believe in it. And they have their own reasons as to why they don't want you to believe in it. Part of it may be if people know about these things, then, and believe in these things, maybe they'll freak out, but I don't believe they will. I don't believe they'll freak out. I think that the governments of the world just hold back knowledge for the sake of holding it back a lot of times. Or because if you know about it, for all we know, these things might not even be from this planet. We have no idea. Okay. So anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we have, some beautiful weather out here in Montana right now. And I hope you enjoy where you are. This is some food for thought. I'm not going to say definitively what it is or is not, because I didn't go over there and shake its hand. Hey guys, another thing I wanted to point out here is that this is the next day. I am looking at this screen here, and one thing that's important is perspective. Okay, as far as where you are positioned. One thing I want you to keep an eye on is this X right here. Okay, now this is not an XX. This is just it looks to be an X because there's branches that are in front of one another. But look at the distance from this X right here to this root sticking up. Now this is the raw unedited video. There's no still shots on here. This is just the straight up video. So this X is a very distinct shape. Okay, it's kind of like a lazy X, if you will. And look how the distance of it from here, from the middle of this X to this root sticking up. And look at where our friend is. Now, of course, I've been over this over and over and over again to make sure that I'm not missing something or, tricking myself or whatever the case is. Now look, I just spun around, and that there's those branches right there forming that X. And here is that root, and our friend is changed position again. Okay. Now I'm just gonna scroll back here a little bit and see the distance from this X here to this root ball hasn't changed very much, but he has changed dramatically. He's gone from over here, right? He's going from way over here to over here in a very short period of time, as if he's not even walking. And let's see. Now, here's our X right there. I want you to be very clear as to here's the X. All right. These are those branches right there. And the distance from there, even though I'm moving around within a few feet on the log, our friend is now standing behind this root ball from my perspective. And so when I move around a little bit, he is back over here. The X is still here. The X hasn't moved that much. Okay, the X hasn't moved that much in relation to this root ball. It's sticking up. See, scroll back. Now he's completely behind the roots, and I'm going backwards here a little bit. Now, here's our X. Okay, here's our X, right there. Look at the distance, and this is just from the same place on this tree that's perpendicular to these other trees. Here's the same. I'm standing on the same tree. That X is here. Here's the root ball sticking up. Now, instead of being back over here, he's over here. Now let's scroll forward a little bit. I move on the log, spin around. That X is still there. Still, and there's the root ball still there. He was over here, and now he's over here. Okay? So let's look at that again. Go ahead and measure it on your screen. All right? So go to full screen, measure this on your screen, and say, and look, this is only a few seconds, okay, where it takes me to walk across that log, just a few seconds. So here's the X right here, measure it on your screen, and see if it makes sense to you that this thing was over here, and now he's way over here. But we'll scroll forward a little bit. He's behind that root ball, I'm panning around, and then when I get back to him, he's still behind that root ball, panning around it. There he is again. Now, I haven't moved on that tree. I'm just panning. Okay? Now, look right here. See, the X is there. The root ball's there. He's there. Now, let's go forward a little bit. He's playing around over there behind that X. The X is still in the same distance. Measure it on your screen. This is the same distance. It's in relation to this root ball. Okay, so perspective isn't changing very much is my point. My perspective from where I'm standing is not changing that much. What's moving is the black figure. Okay, spin around, come back to him, and voila. Now, he was right here behind this X here, which is the same distance from this root ball, but he's way over here now. Okay. Let's pan around again. And now instead of standing behind this branch, he's standing over here, even further away from this X. Okay, so perspective from where I'm standing, my perspective, the camera's perspective is not changing very much at all. And this is why. I could not see this with my naked eye. Okay? Why I couldn't see it with my naked eye, there's a lot of theories about that. But I couldn't see it with my naked eye because I was looking for it. But this X right here and this root are basically, for all intents and purposes, they're the same distance. There's no sense in the disparity between the black figure being behind this root ball and the black figure being what looks to be a solid 20 feet away over here. There's no explanation for that disparity other than that thing is actually moving. Okay, so that's what I wanted to point out. That's something that this right here. If nothing else, I mean, other than I can zoom in on this and see clearly defined muscles shining in the sunlight, even from the same direction. So if we see that the shadows, right, are going this way, off of this tree, for example, the shadows are going this way. That would mean that the sun is on this side. That means the sun's coming from over here, actually back behind me to my left, which would make sense why there's a glimmer on his shoulder right here. Let me pull up a picture here so we can see. All right, so this is a better picture. You can see that the shadow is going that same direction, and that would mean that the sun coming from behind me to my left, aimed at this guy, would be shining the brightest on his shoulder right there, which is pointing in the same direction as the sun. This makes, I mean, it's little things like this that got me to say, okay, well, I'm not crazy. You know, if I'm seeing this, other people can get this logic as well. right? So we're seeing this, that the sun is hitting him from the same angle, and it's shining. Okay, nothing else shines in the woods. This is shiny as if it's shining off of black hair, and that's where we can see our muscle definition on him. Okay, so this picture, or this position in general, where he's hunched over. Okay, as we go over in the video where he's kind of hunched over, that picture we can clearly see, what looks to be traps, muscle, rear delts right here, triceps. I mean, you can clearly see that he's got a large, that there's a large muscular back right here. Okay. And that's, guys, it's the perspective thing. It's the perspective thing. That's what got me to fully grasp the concept that, hey, this thing's moving around, because there's our X again, right? There's our X, there's the root ball, and now he's way over here. When you come back a little bit this way, and he's closer, okay? The X is the same distance from the root ball. He's standing behind the X, and now he's in a different position. So take that as you will, as you see fit. I think that, and look, he's even standing up. He's even standing differently right here, and you see as if he's moving that direction, because you see how he's on this side of the X right here, and he moves forward a little bit. He's bending over a little, doing his thing, and he's getting close. Now he's toward the middle of the X, and he just took a step. Look at that. Look at that. Looks like he just took a step right there, crossing over, and he did. Look, he's moving. Took a step, crossing over. Now he's on the other side of that X. Okay? He's moving around. All right. This is what got me to believe that there's something else, that this could be a Sasquatch, because look at the size of it. There's nobody else out there. Nobody else out there is wearing all black fur. That's over there. I couldn't even get back there. Okay. And I couldn't get back there. Nobody's wearing a monkey suit back there in the middle of Montana with all these trees being pushed down, that I wouldn't be able to see with my naked eye. Which would explain, if he was camouflaged in some way, it would explain why he's not nervous, why he doesn't care that I'm there, why he's not trying to hide himself, because they're there anyway, and whenever you feel that feeling in the woods, that could easily be what you're feeling. So, but hey, you know what? Check out the video for yourself. Do the investigation yourself. You have the full video. Slow it down on your computer. Check it out. Tell me if you see something different than I do. But yeah, that's it. So I appreciate your time, guys. Thank you, and God bless. So as you can see, okay, so what it was is I shot the footage in March, after we came back from Mexico, in maybe it was April. So I shot the video in March and April. That's beside the point. And I finished making this, what you just saw. I finished making that at the end of May. So anyway, let me know what you think. It's something that we consider to be a real thing here in Montana. And of course, not everybody, but not everybody lives in the woods like we do either, right? Most people that are commenting on this subject, it seems to be that they don't live in the woods at all. They live in cities, and they have very limited information when it comes to this. But at the same time, it doesn't stop people from commenting. People are really retarded when it comes to that kind of thing. Anyway, so interesting stuff, right? Interesting stuff. Let me know what you think. Go ahead and if you like the video, like it. If you don't like it, dislike it. Comment and tell me what you think in the comments, and I do read them, so you can be sure of that. Thank you for watching this video. I know it was long, and take care. Bye.